This is just going to be a video showing you what actually sells on eBay. So this might give you ideas of new things to look out for that you haven't already thought about. So I sell literally anything, and hopefully this video shows you just that. So this is, well, it is 9:30 on Sunday morning, and I'm going to show you any sales I've had since Friday morning. So it's not been amazing, but it's also not been too shabby. So let's get straight to it and show you what has sold to help you keep an eye on what to pick up in the future for yourselves. So as you can see, we have got 34 orders to pack at a total of £1,450 and 27p. So if we scroll right to the bottom, you can see just there, that is 8:30 Friday morning. So I packed everything before that. So that went for £40 and 49p plus post, and that went for £80 and 97p. They bought 3 of them, which ended up getting a multi-buy discount, and them 2 items have already been packed in there ready for packing. So next up is a bread maker there for £100. Oh god, look at that. Whose idea is it to put that there? There we are. That sold for £100. Just want to say quickly as well, I've now slowly started putting postage on my items. So I used to do free postage. Well, now I'm only putting a small amount on. So anything that goes with Yodo, I'm only putting £1.99 postage on. So then it's still low enough to attract buyers, but at least it adds a little bit of value. So that'll help pay towards the costs of like boxes or other packing supplies, because although I try my best to get packing supplies free, not everything is free. So that will just help a little bit. And the amount of sales I get over a space of a year, all them £1.99s are going to add up dramatically. It's going to be amazing. So, and I thought going from free postage to postage, I thought my sales would drop off, but there's been no change whatsoever. And then anything I post with parcel force, so big and heavy stuff, again, even though it cost me a tenner or so to post, plus packing supplies on top of that, I'm only putting on £2.99 postage. So then it's still cheap enough for the customer to be like not put off by the buying it, and that £2.99 again will help towards costs of packing supplies and postage, etc, etc. And then pallets, I'm adding £25 on, even though it cost me about £75 to post a pallet. But again, it helps. It's way better than doing free postage, and I try and recoup the rest of the cost within the price of the item itself. Don't know if any of that made sense, but do with that what you will. And then for £58 plus post, so £1.99, pardon me, is this painting here, which I only listed the other day. I accepted an offer on it, but it still went for £58. So don't be afraid to pick up paintings. Like, even just, honestly, the value in paintings, got a big one up here, look. I got paintings dotted around here, there and everywhere, and they sell really well, for me anyway, for around £60. You get some, like that one up there, that's £100. So yeah, that sold £58. And then these cheap pair of speakers that came with a stereo, but the stereo was broke and didn't hold a lot of value, so it wasn't even worth selling as spares or repairs. But I did sell the speakers for £20, so that covers the cost plus a bit extra of what I paid for the actual stereo. And then for £7, We've sold that little tester pot there. That came from Homebase a long time ago when I cleared out Homebase. Most of it, well, 90% of it is sold now. I've just got the odd item like this lingering. But yeah, £7. And then we got this here. Let's put this down. So we got that there. No idea what it is. Camera of some sort. Paid a tenner at car boot. Accepted an offer for £44 plus post. And then these here are just some carpenter's pencils. I bought these from a wholesale website ages ago. But I'm no longer doing brand new stuff. So, and that only sold for £5.50. And then for £17, I have sold 50 golf balls. So I've got to count them out. I won't do it on camera, but I'll just buy them whenever I see them for £1 or £2 for loads of them and just chuck them in a pot. Normally under here is another top there, look. Normally all the way along here is just golf balls, and they sell, well, I sell them 50 for £17 free postage. So that's the first lot I've sold this year. So that's when you know summer is around the corner, baby. But right in the middle of summer, these will fly out rapid. Like, I won't be able to buy enough of them. During the middle of summer, I've normally got like 1,000 or more, and they will sell so quick. And I will just slowly increase the price, and I can normally get top end between £20 and £22 for 50 golf balls, and they'll just be mixed brands. They won't be, I won't clean them, nothing. I'll literally just throw them in a bag and they go in a poly bag, and that is it. So they're a good little earner, and I've done that for years, and I don't think I'll stop anytime soon. Now this is a weird one. I've had this for years, and I'll get it down and then I'll show you. Oh. Nice vintage Hoover, right? Vacuum cleaner, sorry. So yeah, I've had this for years, and the other day I had a clear out and I donated loads to a charity, and this was going to be on that list, but for whatever reason it slipped my mind, and it sold for £49. The odds of that's bizarre. I can't show you this one because it's in my other unit and I don't have access to that until tomorrow, but for £250 and £25 postage, we sold the job lot of flight cases there. So that will get packed tomorrow and sent out on a pallet. This sold for £40. It's a World War II Army field telephone. Hello? You alright, mate? Yeah. Look, hold on. I told you I'll upgrade your postage free of charge. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Shelf 38, there we are. Job lot of these for £32.50 for all 4 of them. They smelt of smoke a lot, but over time that smell has disappeared now. Either that or I've got used to it. But it was all mentioned in the listing. And yeah, so 4 of these for £32.50. Shelf 363, which is my new shelving. This here, look at that. That sold for 30 quid. And I got that from the auction house for free. They didn't want it and they just gave it to me. And I thought, you know what, I'll try and sell it. 30 quid plus post. Nice. In these boxes here are brand new coffee pod holders. They used to fly out over winter for pack of 2, so 2 of them, like so, for £10.50. Then they just completely dropped off. So I'm donating them to charity, but in the meantime, because they ain't collecting till Tuesday, in the meantime, I've lowered the price to £9 free post, and I've sold a few of them again. So the rest of them will just get donated, but it's brand new, like metal chrome stands for your coffee pods, like that. That's what they are. Shelf 129 for £20. I believe it is this one. We'll just double check, but I'm sure that is it. £20. And yep, it is this one. So that's the brand there, Land of the Dragons. So if you can get these for the right price, obviously, they sell. You get them in so many different styles and sizes. You get much bigger than this, but you also get much smaller. I accepted an offer on that for £20. Sold another 2 of these. For £9. Then under here, just there, I'll pull it out so you can see it. There we are. That sold for £90 plus postage. All I'll do is just put that in a big box, or if I don't have one available, what I do is I'll pull it in a box where it comes up to there, and then I'll just bubble wrap and shrink the top, stick a label there and send it out. And I've had no trouble doing that. And what this is a genuine Lloyd Loom chair. Ugly as sin, but they sell, and they sell fast, believe it or not. So £90 I got for that. Even if it's not genuine, you can still sell it and say Lloyd Loom style, and they still get very similar money. And the way you tell this is genuine is, there you go, they normally got a tag there. You can always tell when the rugby's on. I don't even follow it. I don't follow sports. But I know, because one of these rugby balls will sell. I've had these for years. I did have loads and loads of them. And every time the rugby's on, they start selling again. And I always go, oh, forgot I even had them. And then I panic that maybe I had them listed when I shouldn't have. But yeah, luckily I still got a couple left. So that sold. What did that sell for? That sold for, so again, multi-buy discount, 20% off. In total, £16.18. So they've actually bought 2 of these. So I best pick another one. There we are. That might be the last of them, to be fair. Now I might be out of stock. But yeah, £17 for 2 of these. Probably owe me like 10p or something. Shelf 355 is this little bundle of genuine official tech decks. That sold for £13.50. Now, I used to pick this stuff up years ago and it held a lot better value. Turns out it don't hold that sort of value anymore. Shelf I2. Now, I've had these for a long time. They're just scrapbooks. Job lot of them. As you can see, I had them in the shop for a very long time, £5 each. I only sold one, and they was in there for a long time. Give you a little idea of what's in there. Hold on. It says homemade scrapbooks. Some of them are a lot cooler than others. Got old vintage advertising, music memorabilia, really cool items. But yeah, I've had them a long time. They owe me nothing because it was a throw-in on a deal. But yeah, £50 they finally sold for. Shelf 137, we have sold 4 dinner plates. I believe these are vintage Pyrex. That's the pattern there. Nothing special, but I got absolute, look, like there's a stack, there's a stack, there's a stack, there's a stack, and then on shelves here, there and everywhere I've got more and more and more, loads of it, for like £20 or something in auction. 4 of them have sold for like £12. I'm hoping that's them. Saves me having to bubble wrap them again. For 15 quid, I've sold 50 7-inch records. Now, I get these in bulk. And oh, there's a picture disc here, I think. Look at that. Anyway, yeah, I get these in huge bulk. Now, in my other unit, I've got crates and crates and crates of this stuff. It's too much to go through singly, so I just job lot them and I'll do a multi-quantity listing and I sell 50 for 15 quid free post, and they just trickle out every now and again. So I won't do it on camera, but I'll count 50 of these out. Shelf 226. Where is it? There we go. For 60 quid, we've sold this Smith Corona typewriter, SD750. Oh, that don't really show it, does it? Well, anyway, it's just a typewriter, 60 quid. Another 2 of these coffee pod holders for 9 quid. In bin 1, yellow 179, where is it? There we are. It's this tailor-made R9 golf club, accepted an offer, £36. Again, this item is an absolute, like, look at the condition. It's not great, and it's missing its key, but that's the brand there, and it's just a set of 10 drawers. I only listed these the other day, and they sold quick. I aimed high as well, 70 quid I think, and I accepted an offer of £63 plus post, so it comes to like roughly 66 or something like that. So yeah, they will just get bubble wrapped and boxed, double boxed probably because of the weight. But yeah, keep an eye out for them, even in rough condition like that and missing its key. The camera's not picking this up as well as it actually it is. It looks worse than that in real life. Box 6 is a pair of swimming goggles, unbranded. Alright, tell a lie, but it's like some sort of generic third party brand sort of thing. They only sold for £4.75, but they've been selling regular for probably a year. Again, I bought them off a wholesale company. I had another colour as well, but they've sold out a long time ago, so it's just this colour left. There's not many left. Stuff like this is from a wholesale company, which I won't be doing anymore. Not because it's not good for the business, it's just not my business model going forward. I want to focus more on higher end items, like with a minimum of like 20-30 quid. I will list lower end stuff if I know it's a fast seller. Fast selling and easy to pack and easy to list, then yeah, of course I'll still sell lower end stuff. But the majority of my stuff, I want it to be higher end, so I don't sell as much as often, but gives me more time to list, and I'm still earning the same amount of money, if not more, because it's higher end stuff. Does that make sense? Well, I won't be picking that on camera. Why, may you ask? That is a tiny zebra printer. Oh, like they're small, and it's probably the size of 2 cans of Coke, to give you an idea. It sold for 24 quid. What's missing from that? I'll tell you what's missing. A bloody SKU number. So, in this warehouse, there's like aisles down here. There's another half over there. There's stuff down the back. Plus, I've got another unit as well. Oh my God. Look at it. Behind that curtain is more aisles. Down here is aisles. This is not going to be fun. So I've got to find a tiny little printer in here somewhere. Oh, this is why you need SKU systems. This is why they're very, very important. No idea why I didn't put a SKU on this. Shelf I-15 is this. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a brass fender for a fireplace. I'll get it down and I'll tell you a bit more. Ignore the state of the warehouse floor, needs a sweep. But there we are. That is a brass fireplace fender. You get them in other materials like copper, cast iron, and they all sell for similar money. That sold on an offer for £85. Now you get them in all different sizes, shapes, styles. Some of them can go for really strong money. I've sold some in the hundreds. Yeah, that sold for 85 quid, and all I do with that is card wrap. I used to bubble wrap it, and then I used to card wrap it, but now I just simply card wrap it, so it don't take that long to wrap, and they sell for strong money, and I've never had one arrive damaged. And may I add, that's a small one, so that still sells for strong money. The only thing is, as I picked it then, I just noticed a label underneath with a brand and a model number. So that probably could have sold for a lot more. But it owes me about 15 quid. I paid up on that as well. That's me paying up for them. You normally get them for like £5–10 at auction or car boot. People just leave them. No idea why, because they sell and they hold a lot of value. Even in the summer months, I'll pick them up all year round. I don't care. I'll still list them, because you get the odd person that will still buy it, but a lot of the time they sell during the colder weather. But whenever you see them, just buy them. Still list them, because some people will still buy them regardless of the weather, because they still want their fireplace to look nice even though they're not using it. So yeah, don't ever disregard fireplace fenders, baby. Shelf 281. Are they both the same size? These owe me £1 again from a wholesale company, which I'm not using no more, but because I've already owned them, I might as well sell them. I've recently lowered the price of these to just £6. £6 free post for a pair of brand new slippers. Shelf 237 is this. That's for an arcade machine. It's just a glass front, and I won't dig it out on camera. Probably paid like 2 or 3 quid at a car boot. Granted, I've had it a long time, but as you can see, don't take up any room because it's just like real thin and it's flat. So yeah, that sold for £30. There we are. There's a better look. It is glass, but you just do loads of bubble wrap, loads of card wrap, and then float it in a box. And people don't just buy these to fix up their... So say if someone's got a Rainbow's Gold arcade machine or fruit machine, they won't necessarily just buy this for that. Some people that don't even have that fruit machine might just buy it as a wall hanger for a man cave. Back again, and another thing with things like this, a keyword: wall art and man cave. Shelf 222. You can't see it because it's in its box. And again, this is from a wholesale company. I've told you that story a million times. Anyway, they sold for £8 free post, and all it is flavoured brace wax for people who wear braces. And that flavour is orange. That's what they are there, look. 8 quid. And then we got this projector for... I think I paid like £10–15 in an auction, and I didn't see any evidence of this ever selling, but I took a risk and I just done better pictures, priced it cheaper than other people. To be fair, there wasn't many active. I just put a lot more effort into the listing, and it sold for 50 quid on an offer. And then on Depop, shoe shelf 14, which is there, we have sold these for £28 on Depop. While I'm here, look at this. The floor is finally finished. Still got to cut in, but I ain't gonna do that. because there's no point, because underneath, look, this, yeah, I think it looks fine as it is, but this was a mammoth task. Bathroom, and then every aisle, even across down there, every aisle was painted. It was just, the old floor was so depressing and dark and dingy to look at. You don't notice it until you paint it, but like, that's what it was. I just cleared a load of stock that was here on Friday. That's why that bit isn't painted, but it's just gonna get filled with stock again, so there's no point painting that. But yeah, see the difference? And the light just bounces off of it, which is good, so it makes the whole place look a lot brighter in here. But this is not doing it justice. Honestly, I'm well happy with this, but it took a heck of a long time. So if it needs doing again, then that there needs doing again. That was a different shade of grey. That's the photography bay. When the lights are on and you edit the pictures, you can't notice the floor anyway. But obviously it just needs a touch up, or even a mop. Anyway, look. Yes, granted, I need a sweep. I'm a dirty boy. But yeah, that's the whole warehouse done. Again, different shade there because I started it with a paint from a different shop. But it is what it is. So yeah, the whole warehouse floor is painted. I have put the brush down. And if it happens again, I'm paying someone to do it. And then another sale that we've had on Etsy is this LG VHS player and remote, spares or repairs, 20 quid, free postage. On Etsy, I do free postage across the board. And this is a mess. I will show you that in more detail on another video, hopefully, if you're lucky. So that is everything that is sold from Friday morning till Sunday morning. And as you can see, I sell way different stuff to most resellers. So hopefully that gives you an idea of stuff you can look out for yourself. That's different to other people, and a lot of people do tend to leave us stuff. So you can get to a car boot late and still see all this stuff there. And I also buy from auction houses as well. So that's another place you can source stuff. So till the next video, which hopefully will be in a few days. And it might be about that doll's house, if you're lucky. I'm really hoping to get a video done on that, because that's an epic find. And I can't wait to show you guys. I need to show someone. A doll's house. I'm a man, nearly 40. And I'm excited over a doll's house. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Another sale's just come in on Depop. Let's end this on a high. Box 23. A tie. Went for £4.